All right. All right, I'll just give it another sec. I'm just finishing a few emails.
I was thinking about turning this into a sweatshirt or something. You know about virtual background? I was thinking turning
Yeah,
it into a sweatshirt.
that wouldn't be a bad idea. Actually, if you really wanted to see what it would look like, you could just take that design and then find a template of just a plain black hoodie and then
Oh,
paste it in.
I already found one. Can I show you real quick?
Yeah, please do. We actually, in case you didn't know, we actually have a silkscreen press here and a garment printer, like a big printer to print t-shirts. It's over in the class next to me, Mr. Bross's class, the art class. So I actually do know how to make silkscreen and the direct to garment. It's basically you load the file and it prints on a white t-shirt. So that's pretty cool. But if you want to share your screen with me, I think I have it turned on. And I think you just muted again. If anybody could tell Josh how to share his screen real quick.
That's what.
Oh, there you go. Check you
Yeah.
out. Oh, I like that, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. What's it say on the sides, or did you put that on there, or is that
It
on?
says my name on the
Oh,
side. Yeah.
there you go. Well, at least if somebody stole it, you'd be like, look, that's totally mine. Uh, you know what? That's pretty cool. And there'll be opportunities where, let's say you do have this shirt made, right? And then I teach you about which I will be photography. You could do a basic lighting setup, or you could do a product photograph of that being worn, and you could put it in your portfolio to show other people.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, so we're always looking for opportunities. If anybody has like any cool artwork that they want to share, I don't care if it's arts and crafts. You made a necklace, or you made a neat little, you know, coffee mug with your ceramics class. I love looking at other people's artwork. And that's not to say it can't get photographed or videoed and put into a product. So, that would also be neat too, Josh. When we start doing video recording and stuff, you could actually make a 1-minute commercial for the sweatshirt and just make it this hypothetical product company. Maybe you are down the road trying to, you could call it JPS, your initials clothing company, and do a commercial, and people are like, wow. So I've had students do that before, and it's actually worked out pretty well. So, but
Wow.
it's some pretty neat stuff. But I'll tell you what, everybody, I will start class right now. Put my thumbs up. I need that. Like I said, I need this thing so I can start class. All right, I have another one. Zuriel's here. Nice. Diego. Oh, Diego's not. He's got to have his audio up yet.
You
How you doing, Diego?
pretty good.
All right. Whoa, sorry to wake you, pal. Want some
Oh
coffee?
no.
All right. So welcome everyone. Starting class right now. Actually, I'll share some kind of cool information for you. Both Mr. Folk and myself sat down since 8 o'clock this morning until about 10 minutes ago, and almost planned out the next 2 years of our program. So we're kind of pretty excited with the direction that we're going to go in, what all the first year students going to learn, the second year returning students, and third year. So we're really starting to kind of get things together, like what type of assessments, what do we want you to learn. I'm actually looking over at the whiteboard that we were just sitting there remember we talked about brainstorming, so we were sitting there brainstorming what we want to accomplish. What software we want to teach you, cameras, photography. What do you need to know before you even learn video? Like, you need to learn composition. So it's pretty cool that we're going to be able to have all this stuff laid out and be able to share that with you. And then it looks like we'll do the 2-week project. And then after the 2 weeks, we'll do a 1-week project, because it's just, instead of doing 2-week projects every 2 weeks, these big projects, we'll do a 2-week and then a smaller project and then back to 2 weeks. And then we'll have these little exploratories like I have you doing at home, but we can do exploratories with software. Like maybe for one exploratory, you'll do Premiere, how to make smoke effects in a video. And then Photoshop, how to take a layered image and create it and make it an animation and put it in Adobe Premiere. So we're gonna have all these kind of little tidbits for you to learn as we go along, and what lectures we're going to work on. So, pretty comprehensive stuff we're looking at doing. You're going to, I think you'll be impressed. You're going to learn a bunch of stuff by the time you leave the program. So hopefully everybody is in a mood to learn all kinds of different things. Maybe you're in the program just for music, but you're also going to learn, video, you're going to learn photography, you're going to learn graphic design, because honestly, all of these things go together anyway. And I'm sure some of you know that, especially doing your career exploration projects. It might say under secondary skills as a sound engineer that you should know a little bit of web development and a little bit of design and things like that. So yeah, so that looks pretty cool. But so I kind of just wanted to talk about, if there's any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. But I just kind of want to cover, who remembers what we were talking about last week? Anyone? Don't be scared. What did we talk about?
The points, the horizon, something like that.
Yes. So that is one of like 8 different things. If you know those, say 1 or 2 of those, but there's one big word that covers all of those terms. Blank in photography. And you can also find it in video, audio, writing a script. There's all different types of things. It starts with, actually, Deshauna has a cookie. It starts with the letter C. Anyone?
Composition.
Composition. Thank you. Okay, so we were talking about composition and photography, but I was also saying that composition covers everything. When you compose a musical score, you learn sheet music, and there's supposed to be a beat and a harmony and a first verse and a second verse. And then there's composition in video production, what shots, what locations, things like that. Composition in a web design, what colors should you use? What type? How should it be laid out? What's the structure of the page? So that is almost the biggest reoccurring theme in our program, is through all 3 years, you're going to learn different. How you doing, Steve? You're going to learn many different types of composition. And actually the cool thing is you can apply that to so many different things too. I mean, even, your daily life, your routine, you can compose how your week is going to go. You can compose your goals and things like that. So, but specifically, we're talking about photography right now. So I actually came up with a 1-week project, even though it's Tuesday. I figured I would just kind of ease everybody in, because composition, as I said, it's a big deal. And I would really like for everybody to kind of keep rolling with it. So I came up with a quick project. I did not list it yet on Schoology, but when class is over today, as I always do, I do an update with a link to this lecture, and then I'll provide you with links to the project and how to submit it. Okay. But I'll share it with you real quick, and I'll kind of just go over it with you one more time. Actually, not one more time. This is new. All right. So let's share this over here, and let's not forget, I got to open up all my windows. All right, participants. All right, and last but not least, the chat. Okay. All right. Put this back up here. Okay, so going back now, I created this whole new 1-week little project, because we talked about, like I said, elements of composition in photography, from terms of photography. So if you remember, and I'll go through this again with you really quickly. There's Jamil. How you doing, buddy? So I set up this one page, and it's under marking period 3, and it's section 9, composition and photography. So what I'm basically doing right now is I'm rounding out everything we talked about last week and kind of ending it this week. Okay. And then you have break for a week. So if you want to catch up on work, if you're all caught up and you want to sit around and do nothing and stare at grass grow, that's awesome too. I would definitely tell you, if you're behind in your projects, I'm obviously not going to give you projects over spring break, but I would strongly encourage you to work on anything like discussion posts, exploratories, old projects. I don't care if it's the first project you did in the beginning of the year. Fix it, revise it. If I ever gave you revisions to do in the comments, when you go in Schoology and you look at your name and it says see comments, go into the Schoology page where you submitted it, you'll see comments from me saying, if you do this, I'll give you full credit. So, really take that opportunity because we're going to be going in the fourth market period soon. So if there's any quizzes that you might have missed or, the ed puzzle that I posted, if there's any of that stuff that you missed, I know maybe there's going to be one rainy day during spring break and you can work on it then. I'm sure some of you, show of nods are probably going to be working on schoolwork or something over spring break. I know I will. Some of you are like, I ain't doing anything. But and then hopefully I'll start seeing some students back on the 4th. So we'll kind of see how that works out. But so going back here with elements of composition, I talked about all this before. Remember the slideshow? This guy that looks like Yoda, that's Ansel Adams. He's that famous black and white photographer. That is a very famous landscape photographer. And we can all go back and look at the slideshow here. I talked about that all important rule of thirds. That's a really big deal. Okay, hold on, let me fix that. Okay, we talked about the rule of thirds and framing and silhouettes, varying angles. Remember we talked about worm's eye point of view, bird's eye point of view, and we went through leading lines and symmetry. So if some of you are on this Zoom right now, you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry, because I recorded the last live session. I strongly suggest you check it out. They're never more than 20 minutes, a half an hour at most. Some of them run a little bit late, but if you literally go through this page, look at this, read that, watch this video, then you're good. You're going to understand everything you need to know about composition. But I will tell you, as time goes on in the program, when you finally get a camera in your hands or a video camera in your hands, you're going to need to know this because I'm going to say, I need you to shoot a worm's eye point of view of a product for an advertisement. And if you don't know what that means, that you're going to have problems when you finally get to use that equipment in your hands. So when you're done, and this is important, so please check this out. I'll scroll down. So this goes over the 9 photo composition tips. There's 2 things I would like for you to do. The first one, and some of you already did it, there's an ed puzzle based on this video, okay? If you click on this video right now, it's only gonna show you the video on YouTube. You're gonna need to, and if you click on these, look, they don't work. There's nothing there, okay? So you're gonna need to go into Schoology and find, and I took screenshots of what they look like when you go into Schoology in the 3rd marketing period folder. So there's a little quiz on the composition tips. And then I actually created a full-on quiz, multiple choice, true and false. And I give you an example of pictures and you have to tell me what element of composition is being used. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see that composition of photography in my folder. That's why I didn't do it.
That's okay, because I literally just finished it this morning once we started planning out the school year. So yeah, you won't see, you're actually not gonna, this web page is live right now. I just published it before I came out here. So you technically could go and find it, but there's nothing on Schoology yet, but there will be by 2:30, I guarantee it. So these are just visual representations of what you have to do. So this is an easy 100 points each, 200 points. These 2 assignments is like taking 1 project, and it shouldn't take you that long to do it. Now, what I want you to do, once you pass, okay, I'll give you 2 chances. Once you pass it, you can move on to doing a presentation. I would like for you to do, and I put it all in pink, I want you to take what you've learned about composition and photography and do a presentation. Now, you could do it a couple different ways. You could make a movie. You could work in iMovie. You could record different angles with your phone, okay? Or the different elements with your phone. If you want to go out and do worm's eye point of view, bird's eye point of view, symmetry, and all these different things and edit it together on your phone, that's fantastic. Knock yourself out. If you just want to do a photo collage, you could do a photo collage like this. Now, obviously, I did not take these photos, but these pictures should be your original photographs. Don't just go on Google and find a bunch. I know for a fact you probably have not been out canoeing somewhere, or you're out here in the middle of the Netherlands. So, it's gonna be pretty easy for me to tell if you're using your own picture. So you can do that, or you could do a slideshow. I actually made this morning. It took me like 45 minutes. And this is just tells you what composition is. Okay. You could even take this slideshow and make it into an iMovie. It's up to you. I'm giving you the choice to do what you want. Maybe you don't have a lot of video stuff on your portfolio in your computer. I would probably tell you to do a video. If you've done every single photo exploratory, maybe you'd want to do a presentation instead, just having what's called a diverse portfolio. Okay. But that's really all I'm asking you to kind of do this week. I'll even give you through the break to get it done, but let's be honest, nobody's going to do it over the break. But if you could get it done, if you could get this done by the day we start back after break, I will be thrilled. Okay. If you grind it out and get it done on Friday, that's awesome. It may seem like a lot of work. It's not really. I know, are a lot of you kind of buried with work right now because it's the end of the marking period? Show of hands, comments, questions. Are you all getting buried with work, or is it starting to wind down? Malaysia's a little tired. Yeah, she's got stuff going on. What about you, Diego? You got a lot of work, or?
Actually, I just have like, well, nah, I don't have like that much homework, but I still have some.
Well, that's good. I mean, if they're not giving you too much to do. But here's the important thing, and what I guess what I want to try and get across. So let me finish this real quick. So that's the project, and I know some of you gave me feedback saying it would be helpful to give you examples. I literally made these examples this morning for you to show you what you should have done. I did not make a video. Maybe I will. I'll take the slideshow and make a video out of it, put music to it. But I will always try to give you examples on what your finished product should look like, because I know with the Safe to Say one, it was a little confusing. So, and then once again, I put here, take what you've learned about composition, and you need to put these 8 different elements. You got to take these 8 different pictures or 8 different slides. Choose how you will present it: slide, video, or photo collage. You must have images you take, a title with your name on it, obviously, because how am I going to grade it? And then images have to be labeled with the type of composition. It's pretty straightforward. Boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3. And then when you're done, you put it in Schoology. Does everybody understand what I'm asking you to do? It's pretty cut and dry. Now's a chance. If you genuinely have a question, I'll be happy to answer for you right now. You can email me later once you get
Do we
started.
need to use the slideshow to make our own? Like you take the slideshow you made and then make our own video out of it.
No, I would prefer you took your own photographs and then created your own slideshow. I just made a slideshow to give you an example of the theme, the color, the type of images I used. My finished piece of what I would expect to see if the Shauna did this project, she would have gone out this week or over spring break and took a worm's eye point of view, bird's eye point of view, symmetry, took all those photos and then created a presentation in Google Slides or PowerPoint similar to the one you just looked at. Does that make sense? Okay. So I was just showing you how I would make it. Now, did I cheat by using pictures off of Google? Yes, I did. I couldn't go outside and run around and take my own pictures, but my hope is that, and I'm sure somebody's going to do a great job on their presentation, and then I'm going to take your presentation and add it to my website. So then other students will know what the expectation is of what they need to get done. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's really what I'm asking you to do. I don't really think any one is easier than the other. You know what I mean? I guess you could say the easiest would be the photo collage, but I would kind of tell you to challenge yourself, use that fancy new laptop if you have one, and do an iMovie, put some music to it if you want, and create a video. Because I really think, getting all that practice in is going to help you in the long run. So, but that's what I have. So, you're doing three things. You're just doing the ed puzzle and the quiz, and then when you've kind of, you know, understand what's going on with that, then you move on and you do the project. So nothing too overly complicated. I'll be honest with you, I'm going to spend the rest of this week grading and also giving out feedback to students that might be behind or haven't really participated very much, and reach out and say, you know, hey, let's try and get this stuff done. But for the most part, I don't want to start obviously anything new before break. So I think this is a nice way to kind of wrap up what we've taught over the last week, and then kind of put this to practice. And I would hope, you know, most of you are allowed outside. Hopefully none of you are grounded or can't go out. But that's not to say that you can't take these pictures in your house, apartment, wherever, because you totally can. It's easy to do worm's eye point of view, just lay on the floor and shoot something, you know, up on the wall, and same thing shooting, you know, bird's eye and symmetry. You could just take something that's equal on both sides and photograph it. So if you feel that you might be challenged and you're not really sure how to do it, if you are at home and you just don't have the ideas in your head, please reach out to me. I'll be glad to help you. I've been doing this project for years, and there are some pretty amazing things that students come up with. Some students use Legos. Haha, there you go, Stephen. Some students use like a theme of Legos and photograph all 8 parts of composition using Legos. Could you do that? You totally could. You could use little Star Wars figures. You could use Matchbox cars. You could use money, like change. So, or as I said, it could be a combination of everything. You could take a picture of change for a bird's eye point of view, and you could go outside and do symmetry. It doesn't matter, but try and think like creatively like that. You could have pictures of people, products, places, time of day, you know, nighttime, daytime, all different types of stuff. Okay. But just realize that a lot of kids do this project for an assignment, and you have to kind of say to yourself, well, how are my pictures or my presentation going to be different than other people's? So let's say, going back to, I think I used this reference once, I make my own jewelry. I used to when I went to art school, but could I use all the pieces to create my photography presentation for composition? Sure, you totally could. So just something to think about. But that's all I got. So it's, yeah, there you go. It's 1:30. So we're just about
That
done.
was the quickest class we've ever had.
I know, right? Well, you know what? Like I said, I didn't go through, because last week we were really hitting all the lecture parts. You know what I mean? Really, you know, digging in. So, you know, because Deshauna just said so, I'll drag this out for another 15 minutes if you'd like. Raise your hand, please. Wow, look at them. All the hands are up. Okay, so we'll go another 15 minutes. Just kidding. There's no other hands up. But yeah, sometimes, honestly, the funny thing is you'll start to notice when you come back for your second year, class will go quicker because you know what needs to be done, what's expected of you, you know, how to lay things out. And that's why I spend so much time with first year students, because they don't even know the layout of the room or how to turn the camera on or how to use a memory card and save their files out. The beauty of it is many of you, well, we're going to go over a lot of stuff again next year. But if you think about it, when you come back that following year, I just go, Deshauna, go take a video and interview this person that graduated last year. Okay, I don't have to teach you the file format. I don't have to teach you composition. I don't have to teach you, you know, how to write a script on the questions to ask. So if you really think about it, all of the stuff that I've been going over is awesome, because the following year I'm like, go do that. You know, something I would have spent 15 minutes explaining to you will take 5 minutes. Go do that. So it'll be nice too to have that kind of freedom, especially if Deshauna comes to me and says, "Oh, you know, my friend's mom does this really good charity thing, doing clothes for children," and she's like, "I would love to do a promotional piece and go video this person to then put it on social media and promote it." I'm like, "All right, great, go do it." And then Deshauna would have that confidence to know how to lay it out, what equipment she would need, how long to film it, what angle, how it should be lit. Not saying that she's like ready tomorrow to do that, but it would lead up to that, where she could go out and confidently start filming things on her own, knowing composition, storyboarding, and things like that. So that's all we're trying to do in the program is giving you that confidence and those tools to be able to go out on your own and confidently, be professional. So there you have it. So I will let you go for today. But please take a look at this. I'm going to post the meeting and all the instructions on Schoology. I'll send an email out saying, hey, very important update in Schoology, blah, blah, blah. Check it out. Look at it. If you have any questions, comments, and you need help, I will be around today, tomorrow. I'm here all week. So just let me know. Okay. But we will meet back here again tomorrow. Okay.